My name is Eli Hemming. I am a professional trail runner, cowboy, coffee roaster, and I'm probably best known for being the first American man to win OCC, which is the 50K at UTMB week.
I made Tabor pancakes once. And let's just say she doesn't let me cook for her anymore. She was not impressed. You know, we may not have a lot of money, but we have two Woodways, so who's the real winner here?
Woodways.
Woodway's the winner.
I was racing draft legal triathlon, which is the Olympic style of triathlon. So you kind of go with the Olympic style of triathlon, you go in Olympic cycles, in 4-year cycles. I had just gotten injured, so I couldn't continue my qualification process for Tokyo. And Tabor was kind of going through her own woes with track and field. And so she kind of mentioned like, hey, I did this a few times before. You want to hop in a random trail race?
And so we found a race in Buena Vista, Colorado, and it was just a random weekend in May, and we went and did it, and we had a lot of fun, and we finished, and it didn't feel like this really intense race scenario that we'd been used to. And we were walking to get coffee after the race, and we look at each other and we go, do you want to just be trail running vagabonds?
It was definitely a joke at first.
It was a joke.
I think training outside of our comfort zone is the exact thing that we convince each other to do constantly. We come from such different backgrounds. Triathlon is hugely just aerobic in hours. So I was training 35 hours a week as a triathlete, and so you can't really spend all that much time going really hard. Coming from mainly triathlon background, I think I came at trail running with a huge aerobic base. I think triathletes are some of the fittest athletes in the world, just purely because of how much you can and have to train to be at the top of that sport. So I came in with this bolus of fitness that I want to say get away with lack of skill and everything. So I think that was kind of mainly the thing that I was coming with, I don't know, advantage, I should say. So training for trail running or sports in general living at 8,000 feet is kind of a difficult challenge to deal with. You always have a little extra stress that you have to account for. I don't know if I have the necessary thing to I don't know the perfect answer of how to train at altitude all the time, but it is just definitely more of a juggling act of making sure that you are not overdoing stress. If we learned one thing early on in our trail running career is that trail running makes you slow. One of the things, and living at 8,000 feet also kind of makes you slow. So one of the things that we do with the lever is we toss it on take about 10% of our body weight off, just enough to take off the edge, and we will do about an hour of top end zone 2, which is, as you get fitter and fitter, is harder and harder. And if I were to do that out on the roads, I'd be, especially with the snow how it is right now, I would be trying to run sub 6-minute miles out on the roads, and my joints would hurt, my muscles would hurt afterwards. Whereas now doing it on the lever, I get the neuromuscular stimulus without necessarily the muscular damage so I can do it more often, basically. Yes, so training and racing in the US is very different than training and racing in Europe. Their mountains are a little bit more rugged, especially starting at 8,000 feet. If I was to do a 3,000 foot climb, I'm up pretty dang high and I'm above tree line. So it's another stress to worry about. So I actually do quite a bit of my vertical training on a treadmill, making sure that my speed can be up as high as possible without getting to 13,000 feet. And I would say focusing on leg speed, as much as I can, say like with the lever, and just trying to be an all-around runner, basically. Yeah, 2024 was definitely my most successful year to date. I did actually try to change things up, and I believe it was for the worse. My 2025 season had ups and downs, whereas 2024 definitely had a much higher level of success. So actually kind of going back to training more like a triathlete, doing a lot more cross training, doing things the way that we were doing them in 2024 is actually my goal of 2026. Mont Blanc Marathon and Gold Trail World Series were kind of my first foray into European style racing, so it was definitely a big learning curve, but it was kind of learning what you need and what the demands of competition were, especially like the terrain itself, being in Europe versus being over here in the US. It's very different terrain. So I think the biggest things that I learned from racing those was kind of basically how to train for them, if anything. The psychological side of ultra running is probably more important than the physical side. I am extremely good at getting fit. I think my triathlon days made sure of that. But now I have to spend so much time. Tabor and I try to make all these kind of mental games and everything that we can work through in training, make sure that I am prepared when it comes to race day. A lot of it is just basically not giving up, and the race isn't over till it's over.
What's one of those mental games?
It's one of those mental games.
Last one for the last one.
Yeah, even like having Coach Tabor here, sometimes I'll be almost done with a workout and she'll say, actually you have one more rep today. And just even as simple as that of, oh yeah, that's got to be ready for those little change ups. Might not be that much actually stress on the body, but it is a lot of stress mentally. Yeah, I think the biggest thing I can say for anyone trying to come into ultra marathons is take your time. Patience is absolutely a virtue, and it's not something that will happen overnight. But and if it does happen overnight, good for you, but unlikely to happen overnight. Muffins, go on. Go on.